Hello, good evening one and all. Myself Dr. Sandhya Rani, Associate Professor from the Department of Shalakya Tantra, JSS Ayurveda Medical College and Hospital, Mysuru. At the outset, I thank the organizers of Tadvidya Sambhasha Parishat and those who have given me an opportunity to share my knowledge in this platform. As you all know, Shalakya is a very important branch of Ayurveda wherein the diseases related with the organs which are situated above the clavicle, that is eyes, ears, nose and head and neck have been dealt in this. Even though I am speaking about the Sarvagata Netra Rogas today, but I just wanted to share some of the very important and basic concepts of Shalakya Tantra with you all. So, starting with the definition of Shalakya Tantra, our Acharya, Sushruta and even the Vagbhata have mentioned that the Shalakya Tantra is one among the Ashtanga Ayurveda. Ashtanga is 8 branches of Ayurveda wherein the diseases related with the eyes, ears, nose, oral cavity, head and neck has been dealt with. The anatomical and physiological aspect of these organs with the diseases and how to manage these conditions have been dealt in this branch. So, coming to the basics of Shalakya Tantra, Acharya Sushruta in his Uttara Tantra, from the first chapter to the 26th chapter, he has been explained the role of Shalakya Tantra, why Shalakya Tantra is very important and why we need to learn this Shalakya Tantra. And he has given a very elaborative description about the anatomy and physiology of the organs like eyes, ears, nose, every organs which are there, which we deal with the Shalakya Tantra. And Shalakya is called as Shalakya because we use majority of the Shalakas. Shalakas are nothing but a probe like instruments or instruments which are used to visualize, which are almost probe shaped instruments like ophthalmoscope, otoscope or the laryngoscope or whatever the scopes we are using to visualize the pathology and even for the treatment aspect of eye and ENT disorders are used in majority. That's why this branch is termed as Shalakya Tantra. And in Sushruta Uttara Tantra, he has classified the eye diseases into 76 eye diseases into 4 major branches. I think all of you are aware of the anatomical and the physiological aspect of the eye, and Sushruta has mentioned this netra, that is the eye, as one of the very important organ without which the person becomes or person life becomes very miserable. That's why he has termed it as Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. Among all the Indriyas, the netra or the eye has got utmost important because if a man doesn't have the vision, or those persons who doesn't have the vision, those who are blind, they find it very difficult to do their routine activities. For a blind man, day and night makes no difference. He cannot enjoy the nature, he cannot enjoy his life because of the loss of light perception or loss of visual perception. That's why eye has been given much importance in Ayurveda. And there are many diseases which our eye experiences if the proper care is not being taken. Sushruta in his Uttara Tantra, he has told 76 eye diseases and he has classified these 76 eye diseases into 4 major branches. As we see in today's ophthalmology book, how they have classified the eye diseases. Similarly, Sushruta 5000 years back, he has classified this 76 diseases into 4 major groups. First one is the Doshanusara, according to doshas, Vataja Vyadi, Pittaja, Kafaja, Raktaja and Sannipataja and Asadhya Vyadi he has mentioned. That is first classification according to dosha. Second classification is avayavanusara. Avayavanusara is according to the avayava, organs, that is the appendages of the eye. Like eye has got the mandalas, patalas and the sandhis. Accordingly, these angas or these avayavas are has been mentioned in the while describing the diseases. Like Sarvagata Netra Rogas are the diseases which occurs in all over the eyes, in all the structures of the eye. Otherwise, they have termed it as Vartmagata Rogas, Shukla Mandalagata Rogas, Krishna Mandalagata Rogas, Drushti Mandalagata Rogas and Sarvagata Netra Rogas. This Vartma Mandalagata Rogas are nothing but the diseases which affects the eyelids. Similarly, the Shukla Mandalagata Rogas are the diseases which affects the sclera and the conjunctiva. And the Krishna Mandalagata Rogas are the diseases which affects the cornea. And Drushti Mandalagata Rogas are the diseases which affects both the lens and the retina. So, coming to the Sarvagata Netra Rogas, these are the diseases which are seen or the pathology is seen in all the structures, like even mandalas, Vartma Mandala, Shukla Mandala, Krishna Mandala, Drushti Mandala and even Sandhis which are nothing but the joining point of these mandalas, maybe Krishna Vartma Shukla Gata Sandhi, Shukla Krishna Gata Sandhi and Krishna Drushti Gata Sandhi, Kaninika Sandhi and Apanga Sandhi. These Sandhis, the 6 Sandhis are there. So, even the Sarvagata Rogas affects these Sandhis and even the mandalas. That's why they are termed as Sarvagata Netra Rogas. So, coming to the other third classification, it is Sadhya Sadhyata Anusara. How many are Sadhya Vyadis, how many are Asadhya Vyadis, how many are Ashastri Krita Vyadis. They have been, Yapya Vyadis have been explained. And the fourth classification according to Chikitsa Anusara, whether they are Sadhya by Aushadha Sadhya Vyadis or Shastra Sadhya Vyadis. In Shastra Sadhya, whether they are Bhedya Vyadis, Chedya Vyadis, Vedya Vyadis, like that. So, Bhedya Vyadis are nothing but the Bhedana Sadhya Vyadis. These are treated by Bhedana Karma. Similarly, the Chedana Karma has been mentioned. So, this is the fourth classification of Sushruta's version. So, in that we will consider the second variety, that is classification of eye diseases according to Avayavanusara. Avayavas are nothing but the appendages. According to the appendages of the eye, we are just going to classify this type of or the Netra Rogas. So, similarly, Sarvagata Netra Rogas are very important as even in routine practice, even in OPD also, we are seeing these type of diseases, and once these are neglected, if not treated in time, definitely it is going to harm or it is going to leads to some other complicated disease conditions. So, Sushruta's 4 types of classification has been mentioned, and in that we are considering the Avayavanusara Vargikarana of Netra Roga. So, coming to the first part of the Sarvagata Netra Rogas. So, Sarvagata Netra Rogas are considered as very important, as almost all the structures has been mentioned. So, in Sarvagata they include mandalas, sandhis, and this mandala, what I mean to discuss here is Vartma Mandala, Shukla Mandala, Krishna Mandala and Drushti Mandala, and sandhis mainly Vartma Shukla Sandhi, Shukla Krishna Gata Sandhi, Krishna Drushti Gata Sandhi and Kaninika and Apanga Sandhis. So, the diseases which affects in these sandhis and mandalas will have its own effect over the eyes. According to Sushruta, there are 17 Sarvagata Netra Rogas. Sarvagata Netra Rogas, again I am just stressing this point, they affects all the structures of the eye. Okay. So, Sushruta has mentioned 17 types of Sarvagata Netra Rogas, and Vagbhata has mentioned 16 types of Sarvagata Netra Rogas. Coming to the Sushruta's version, so the names of the Sarvagata Netra Rogas are, here they have classified as 4 types of Abhishanda, 4 types of Adhimanta, then Sashofa Akshipaka, Ashofa Akshipaka, Shushka Akshipaka, Amlya Dyushita, Anyato Vata, Vata Paryaya, Sirotpata and Siraharsha. So these are all the 17 diseases which has been mentioned by Sushruta in his classification of Sarvagata Netra Rogas. Sarvagata Netra Rogas are very, very important aspect of the eye diseases, as the Abhishanda has been explained in this context. Abhishanda is a very, very interesting disease, and it is one of the most important disease as far as Ayurveda is concerned. Vagbhata also has got similar names, that is 4 types of, but he has told 16 diseases. He has not told Sirotpata and Siraharsha in this context. He has explained Sirotpata and Siraharsha in the Shukla Mandala Rogas context, but here he has added Akshipakatyaya. So 17 almost similar disease of the Sushruta, but he has deleted 2, Sirotpata and Siraharsha. So 15 plus 1, that is Akshipakatyaya, that is the another one disease Vagbhata has added. Otherwise almost all are similar diseases, like 4 types of Abhishanda, 4 types of Adhimanta, which are nothing but Vataja, Pittaja, Kafaja and Raktaja. Then Sashofa Akshipaka, Ashofa Akshipaka, Shushka Akshipaka, Amlyoshita or Amlya Dyushita, Anyato Vata, Vata Paryaya, and last is Akshipakatyaya. This is the classification of Vagbhata's version. He has told 16 diseases. Sushruta 17 diseases. So in that, basically the Abhishanda takes the prime role, because it is the basic disease, or it is very important disease. If neglected or not treated in time, will leads to diseases of other eye diseases will be led, because if you are not treating Abhishanda in time. This is about the introduction to the Sarvagata Netra Rogas, and it is very, very important to deal with this Sarvagata Netra Rogas. Coming to the Abhishanda, first disease that has been explained in the Sarvagata Netra Rogas are nothing but the Abhishanda. Abhishanda, when we deal with this disease, it takes little bit more time to understand, even to explain, because in Ayurveda this Abhishanda has been given much importance. When you take the verbal meaning of Abhishanda, Abhi is nothing but the from all the sides, and Syanda literally means discharge. There is a discharge. So there is a discharge in the eyes from all the sides or all the corners of the eye, or literally if you want to take the meaning, or if you go through the Shabdakosha, so it gives a meaning that there will be continuous discharge from all parts of the eye, all the appendages of eye, there will be continuous discharge. Discharge is very, very cardinal symptom of Abhishanda. There is continuous, frequent and profuse discharge in the eyes. That condition is termed as Abhishanda. When this Abhishanda we just deal with, we get so many references from our classical text, that even in Sushruta Nidana and even in Sushruta Uttara Tantra, that Abhishanda is very, very important disease. And at this time, at this juncture, I just wanted to highlight that Ayurveda, in Ayurveda Samhitas and even the Ayurveda Acharyas have highlighted the diseases of about the Sankramika Rogas, and this Abhishanda is one of Sankramika Roga, as like we are facing this COVID situation presently. So similarly, Abhishanda, Jwara, Kasa, Shwasa, all these are mentioned as Sankramika Roga. There is one reference from Sushruta Nidana, 5th chapter, where he just explains, Sushruta explains what are all the conditions or what are all the diseases which spreads from person to person, and what are all the ways where you can avoid or where the infection is spread from person to person. The shloka goes like this: Prasangat Gatra Samsparshat Nishwasat Sahabhojanat सहशय्यासनश्चापि वस्त्रमाल्यानुलेपनात् कुष्ठं ज्वरश्च शोषश्च नेत्राभिष्यन्द एव च औपसर्गिकरोगश्च संक्रामन्ति नरान्नरम्. See, very beautifully Sushruta has explained or he has narrated the Sankramika Rogas. He has given the cause, how this infection is going to spread, and he just tells and what are all the diseases which just affects from person to person, and what we need to, when you understand the cause, definitely if you avoid those causative factors, definitely you can prevent the spread of the infection from person to person. See, prasangat gatra samsparshat. So these are all the physical contact from person to person. Sparshat, that is by touching or by handshaking. Nishwasat, the breathing, through the breathing. Sahabhojanat, and sharing the food items or sharing the things. Sahashayasanaschapi, sitting side by side and sharing the bed. Chapi vastra malyanu lepanat, so sharing the vastra, so sharing the cloth or the towels or the hand keys. Vastra malya is, maybe we can take it as ornaments or jewelries even at this time. Malyanu lepanat, anulepanat, cosmetics. If you are sharing the cosmetics from person to person, like powders or the creams or the lipstick or eyeliners or whatever it is. So the all cosmetics should not be shared from person to person, and you should not share the clothing, you should not share the bed or sitting arrangements. So by these procedures or by these activities, the infection from one person will be spreading to the other person. Similarly, what now we people are talking about the social distancing. Maintaining social distancing, maintaining personal hygiene is very, very essential to avoid this Sankramika Roga or Aupasargika Roga. It is otherwise called as Aupasargika Roga because it kills the whole society. At a stretch, it can kill many people and the society, or at a stretch there may be huge number of deaths leading to epidemic or the pandemic. So even kushta is the skin diseases, jvarascha, any type of fever. If you are sitting just beside to a fever patient, definitely you are going to get the fever because of the droplet infection or airborne infection, like that. Shosha, you can take it as a respiratory distress or the tuberculosis or any other respiratory condition, COPD or something like that. Netrabhishyanda, Abhishyanda is nothing but the Netrabhishyanda, what we are discussing now. Netrabhishyanda evacha. Aupasargika rogascha sankramanti narannaram. So this Aupasargika roga will affect from person to person. So at this context, it is very much necessary to understand the concepts of Ayurveda, where everything has been dealt. See, this is very informative shloka, that we need to maintain personal hygiene and social distancing. We should not share the ornaments, jewelries or the clothing or even the cosmetics, so that to keep ourselves safe. So Abhishanda is one of the Sankramika Roga, and our Acharyas clearly mentions about this Sankramika Roga. So next, coming to the another one very interesting quoting from Ayurveda and from Sushruta Uttara Tantra is, he just gives the importance of Abhishanda. Why Abhishanda is important? So he just tell, Prayena sarva nayanamayastu bhavatyabhishanda nimitta molaha tasmad abhishandam udiryamanam upachared ashu hitaya dhiman. He just tells, Prayena sarva nayanamayastu. Probably the cause for almost all eye diseases, sarva nayanamayastu, for almost all the eye diseases, Bhavatyabhishanda nimitta mulaha. The cause, the primary cause may be Abhishanda. Nimitta mulaha. It is the root cause of almost all eye diseases which the persons experience. Tasmad Abhishandam Udiryamanam. And those who wants to get rid of all other diseases, all other eye diseases, so what they have to do is Udiryamana Upachared Ashu. First, Ashu is quickly, as early as possible, you should treat this Abhishanda by any wise physician. Any wise physician should treat this Abhishanda as early as possible so that it can be cured then and there itself and will not spread to other structures or will not lead to other diseases of the eye. So, it is very interesting and it is very important that as early as possible you should detect the Abhishanda Roga and you can treat immediately. Immediately it should be treated. And Vagbhata, he just goes a step ahead of Sushruta and he just tells Sarva Urdhva Jatru. So, he just not only tells only eye diseases are caused by Abhishanda, he just tells all Jatrurdhva Rogas. Shrotasyam Syandastu Syad Uchyate. So, he just gives in Ashtanga Hrudaya, Uttara Tantra, 11th chapter, 104 shloka, Sarva Urdhva Jatrugata Shrotam Syam Syandat Syat Uchyate. So, there is a reference in Vagbhata or in the Ashtanga Hrudaya that he just narrates or he just tells that if Abhishanda is not treated in time or as early as possible, then the person is going to get all other Jatrurdhva Vikaras, not only the eye diseases, even it may give rise to nasal diseases, ear diseases, oral cavity disorders, headaches and any other Urdhvagata, Jatrurdhvagata rogas are possible or occurring because if you are not treating Abhishanda in time. So, that is why Abhishanda has been given much importance as it is one of the Aupasargika or Sankramika Roga. It very quickly spreads from person to person. And second is, if you are not treating in time, it will cause the diseases of other structures which are nearby like nose, ear, oral cavity, head and neck and other eye diseases also can be caused if you are not treating Abhishanda in time. That is why this disease has to be answered as early as possible. That is why the study of this disease is very, very essential. Coming to the Samanya Lakshana of Abhishanda, as such Abhishanda is of 4 types: Vataja Abhishanda, Pittaja Abhishanda, Kafaja Abhishanda and Raktaja Abhishanda. Coming to the Samanya Lakshana, what are the common symptoms of this Abhishanda are? First, there will be discharge, as the name only tells, there is constant discharge or continuous profuse discharge from the eye. It may be watery discharge, it may be serous or mucopurulent or blood stained discharge from the eye. Okay, so this discharge will be the cardinal symptom of Abhishanda. Then with that there will be Ragata. Ragata is hyperemia or redness of the eye. Then there may be Vedana, very mild or depending on again the condition and the severity of the infection. There may be pain around the eyes, in the eyes and even the structures which are nearby to the eyes. There may be pain, that is headache and something like that. Then Prakasha Asahatva, that is photophobia. The person doesn't want to see the bright light. So, these are the cardinal features or the Samanya Lakshana of any type of Abhishanda, whether Vataja, Pittaja, Kafaja and Raktaja. Again, depending on the predominance of dosha, in Vataja Lakshanas are seen. So, it will be Chala, as the Vata is Chala Guna. So, there may be shifting shifting nature of the pain and different types of pain, Toda, Bedas, Purana. All these varieties of pain the patient experiences. And when it comes for Pittaja Lakshanas like Daha, Ragata, Pakata is more, and here we will see purulent discharge. So, depending on the dosha again, and in Kapha there is Gurutva and there is Snigdhatva, Pichilatva, Kandu. So, these are the Lakshana of Kafaja Abhishanda. Coming to the Raktaja, almost similar to the Pittaja Abhishanda, but little bit more severity, and there may be blood stained discharge from the eyes, as we see in a viral conjunctivitis. So this Abhishanda as a gross in Ayurveda, they have told it has 4 types, but when we see these symptoms in the modern aspect, so we can correlate, or approximately to the contemporary science, we can correlate the condition to the conjunctivitis. Conjunctivitis is nothing but the inflammation of the conjunctiva. Conjunctiva is a structure in the eye where we see the whitish part of the eye, and it comprises of conjunctiva and sclera, the whitish part, but here we are going to discuss only the conjunctiva, the topmost layer of the white part of the eye. And this conjunctiva also lines the inner aspect of the lids. We call it as palpebral conjunctiva, and the conjunctiva which covers the eyeball is called as bulbar conjunctiva. So inflammation of this structure, this conjunctiva, is termed as conjunctivitis. When you see the contemporary signs, there are n number of conjunctivitis. There are more than 20 to 25 varieties of conjunctivitis: bacterial, chlamydial, viral, protozoal, and allergic. Allergic only there are 5 to 6 types of conjunctivitis. Bacterial also, depending on the organism, again there are so many varieties of conjunctivitis. And angular conjunctivitis, depending on the structure where exactly the conjunctivitis is more. Angular conjunctivitis, membranous conjunctivitis, pseudomembranous conjunctivitis, there are so many varieties when you see in the contemporary science. But almost symptoms are similar to what our acharyas have been dealt with. Even in conjunctivitis also, they just tell the discharges more. It is profuse pricking sensation, itching sensation, irritation in the eyes, redness of the eye, or hyperemia of the eye. These are the cardinal features, cardinal symptoms of conjunctivitis. Coming to the classification of this Abhishanda, it is of 4 types: Vataja, Pittaja, Kaphaja, and Raktaja. They have not mentioned Sannipataja. It is Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and Raktaja Abhishanda. First we are going to discuss about the Vataja Abhishanda today. So Vataja Abhishanda may be correlated to the, by seeing the symptoms, we can correlate the condition to the allergic conjunctivitis. So allergic conjunctivitis, in the contemporary science, we can correlate it to the allergic conjunctivitis. Vataja Abhishanda, our Sushruta and even Vagbhata have very clearly explained the signs and symptoms of this Vataja Abhishanda. So by seeing the Vataja Lakshanas, so Vata is having Ruksha, Chalaguna, and there is Shitata. Shitata and Chalaguna is one of the very important factor, because in Vataja Abhishanda there is Chalaruja. The pain will be shifting in nature. Sometimes the patient feels pain in the eyebrows, sometimes inside the eye, sometimes at the Kaninika Sandhi, sometimes at the Apanga Sandhi, like that, in the medial canthus, in the lateral canthus. So there may be shifting in nature, shifting type of pain. So because of the Chalaguna of Vata, Vata will be always in movement. It has got the capacity to move. So by the movement of the Vata, so the Chalaguna, there is Chala Ruja, what our acharyas have mentioned. Coming to the Vataja Abhishanda, there is Nistodanam, Stambana, Romaharsha, the symptoms what our acharyas have told: Nistodana, Stambana, Romaharsha, Sangharsha, Parushya, Shiro Abhitapaha, Vishushka Bhavaha, Shishirashruta cha Vatabhipanne Nayane Bhavanti. So Sushruta in his Uttara Tantra 6th chapter, he has explained about the Vataja Abhishanda Lakshana. Nistodana, there is Todavat. Toda is pricking sensation in the eyes. There is Todavat Beda. There is a sort of pricking sensation as though pricked by instruments or needles. So pricking sensation is there. Stambana. Stambana is stiffness. There is restricted movement, maybe the blinking or the movement of the eye. So there is restricted movement of the eye. Stambana, Romaharsha. Romaharsha is haripulations. The patient experiences haripulations, chills. Sangharsha. Sangharsha is the patient wants to rub his eyes because of the foreign body sensation. There is something inside the eye like that the patient feels and he just wants to rub the eyes. So Sangharsha. Parushya. Parushya is dryness because the Vata guna is Ruksha and rough. It has the quality of Vata. So similarly the patient experiences dryness and roughness inside the eye. Shiro abhitapaha. Shiro abhitapa is pain, discomfort in the head. There may be pain around the head. There may be discomfort in the head. Vishushka bhava, as like a sort of dryness inside the eye. Vishushka bhava, a sort of dryness. He finds it difficult to blink the eyes. Shishirashruta. Shishirashruta. And the lacrimation, what he is getting, the discharge is shishira or cold lacrimation, or the discharge, what watery discharge he is getting from the eye. It is a cold in nature because of Vataja Lakshana. Cha Vatabhipanne Nayane Bhavanti. This condition is called as Vataja Abhishanda. And this should be treated as early as possible according to Acharyas. But Vagbhata again he just takes still more symptoms and very elaboratively he just explains the Vataja Abhishanda. Ashtanga Hrudaya Uttara 15th chapter, second, third shloka, second, third and fourth shloka, he just explained what are all the symptoms of Vataja Abhishanda. Vatena netrabhipanne nasa naho alpa shofata shankha akshi bru lalatasya toda spurana bhedanavat shushka alpa dushika sheetascha sheetam acham ashru chalarujaha nimeshonmeshanam kruchram jantur namiva sarpanam Akshadmata miva bhati, Akshya admata miva bhati, Sukshmaihi shalyai riva chitam, Snigdhoshna upashamanam so abhishandaha. So he just very elaboratively, very word to word, he just explains what are all the signs and symptoms of Vataja Abhishanda. Vatena Netrabhipanne, he just called as Netrabhishanda or Netrabhipanna. Nasa naho alpa shofata. There is nasa naha. Nasa naha is nasal obstruction or blocking in the nose. Why there may be blocking in the nose? We need to analyze even every symptom here, because there is nasal obstruction in the condition of conjunctivitis. So you know the anatomical structure of the eye. So in the anatomical structure, what we tell it as, so there is in the medial canthus we do have the puncta, that is lacrimal puncta, then this is called as lacrimal sac area, and there is a nasolacrimal duct which just passes to the nose. So when there is discharge, when there is excess lacrimation, when there is discharge, more of discharge in the eyes, so those puncta, the canaliculi, the nasolacrimal duct, they are blocked because of the continuous discharge will be passing through the nasolacrimal duct. So the patient feels as like there is a blockage sensation because of the excess flow of the discharge. That's why the patient may experience nasa naha, there is nasal obstruction. Alpa shofata, and even to look at the eye appears mild edematous. Shofata is edema or the inflammation. The inflammation and the edema appears very mild because Vata is having very little edematous. In Pitta, and it will be more severe Ashukari, and it is very much inflamed because of the Paka. But in Vataja there is Alpa Shofata. Shankha Akshi Bru Lalatasya Toda. There is Toda or pricking sensation in Shankha. Shankha is the temporals. Akshi as like the eyeball. Brow, eyebrows or supraorbital area. Lalata is the forehead. Toda, Spurana, Bhedana. So there are varieties of pain like Toda, pricking sensation, Spurana, pulsating like pain, Bhedana, stabbing or throbbing like pain the patient experiences. Shushka, Alpa, Doshika, there is Shushkata, there is dryness, Alpa, Doshika, and the doshas are very minimal here. Sheetam, Acham. Sheetam is the discharge is cold to touch or cold discharge. Sheetam, Acham. Acham is clear, clear watery discharge you are getting. Ashru, Chala. Chala, Ruja. So there is Sheetam, Acham, Ashru. The Ashru is Sheeta and Acha. Acha is clear watery discharge. There is no mucus, there is no purulent, there is no pitchilous srava. It is only clear watery discharge. And Chalaruja. Chalaruja is there is pain which just shifts. Nimeshonmeshanam Krichram. The patient experiences pain and difficulty in blinking the eyes. Nimeshana and Unmeshana Krichram. Jantur Namiva Sarpanam, and feels as though some worms are crawling inside the eyes. Worms are moving inside the eyes. Jantur Namiva Sparshanam, and as like the insects or worms are scrolling inside the eye, just like a sensation the patient experiences. Akshadmatamiva bhanti. Akshadmatamiva bhanti. Akshadmatamiva bhanti. The eye as like admata or the a feeling of blotting like sensation the patient experiences. Akshadmatamiva bhati sukshmaihi shalyai riva achitam. So with a sukshma shalya, that is with a sharp instruments as like pricking over the eyes, like that the patient experiences. Snigdhoshnam upashamanam, and with upashaya he just mentions here with snigdha, with the any oily therapy or just a gentle massage with the oil. Snigdha ushnam upacharet. So you need to go for a sedation or a warm treatments. Snigdha with ushna shamanam. So abhishandaha. By this the patient finds relief from the warm therapy or and snigdha therapy with the snigdhatva and with the ushna like sedation or giving mild fermentation to the eyes. The patient feels comfortable with this. So these are all the lakshanas of Vataja Abhishanda. This is what our acharyas Sushruta and Vagbhata have mentioned about the Abhishanda Vyadi, that is starting with the Sarvagata Netra Rogas, why it is important and the classification. And in that classification we have come across 17 classification according to Sushruta and 16 classification according to Vagbhata. And in 17 classification, first we have taken the Abhishanda, and Abhishanda we have seen that it is very important disease, as if neglected it may lead to other eye diseases or other ENT and head and neck diseases. And this Abhishanda is one of the Aupasargika Roga. Aupasargika is Sankramika Roga, which just spreads from person to person. That's why this Abhishanda is very, very important. Then we saw the cardinal features of Abhishanda, that is there is discharge, there is Ragata, there is Vedana or pain in and around the eyes, and there is Prakasha Sahatva, that is photophobia. These are all the cardinal symptoms of Abhishanda. And coming to the classification of Abhishanda, we have seen there is Vataja Abhishanda, Pittaja Abhishanda, Kafaja and Raktaja Abhishanda. And in that we have taken this Vataja Abhishanda in detail. And this Vataja Abhishanda, when you just see the signs and symptoms of Vataja Abhishanda, it is Vata Pradhana, and there is Shushkata, as the other symptoms of Vata is nothing but the Shushkata. There is Chalaruja, and there is varieties of pain. Toda, Spurana, Bheda, all these types of pain the patient experiences, a sort of dryness, and the discharge is there, and discharge is clear, watery, and which is cold in touch, cold lacrimation is there, and there is nasanaha, and the patient feels as though it is, the patient experiences as though the worms are crawling around, or there is a prick by sharp instruments. So these are the lakshanas where our acharyas have told about the Vataja Abhishanda. Hope did you follow, or the viewers, is that clear for you all? If any queries or anything is there, you can mail me, or you can take my number and you can just WhatsApp, or you can discuss the things if you have got any queries. In the next class, we will be discussing about the Chikitsa of Vataja Abhishanda and the other types of Abhishanda, Pittaja, Raktaja and Kafaja Abhishanda, the signs and symptoms and other features of the Abhishanda, and the other contemporary, what the contemporary science has been dealing with this Abhishanda.